Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for supporting Indie Agency News and our mission. Look, let's be honest about celebrity partnerships. Without insider connections, you're definitely flying blind. Have you ever tried that? I mean, you don't know if they'll even consider your concept. You don't know what they'll realistically cost. And you certainly don't know who else might be perfect for a campaign, an idea, anything. Our exclusive category partner, Abalone Partners, has been solving this exact problem for over 20 years. They bring entertainment industry relationships and negotiation expertise right into your team. The result here, you walk into pitches confident, knowing who's actually available, what they cost. Your emails get responses, your deals close faster. So take a look here. Celebrity and influencer talent, also music and IP licensing. And this is the thing, stop guessing, start partnering. So check out abalonepartners.com. You can also go to our preferred partner page. Take a look at this. This is a huge pain point. You got a creative or a strategist saying, you know who'd be great for this? Yelnick McWawa. But is Yelnick McWawa available? You don't know. How about music from Yelnick McWawa? You don't even know if that, what about that? Doesn't matter. Go to Abalone Partners. They will hook you up. And thank you so much to all of you for supporting this mission. Thank you, Abalone Partners. Enjoy the show. Costume change. Yeah, I pre-recorded it. Listen, there are shows where Kyle does it. And then here's the other thing about our members. We're building a hub, a hosting hub, where members can host shows. So when you become an Indie Agency News member, we cover you, we support you, but we also give you a chance to host some of these shows. And then we become the producers. It's kind of fun, isn't it? All right. To all of our members, thank you so much for supporting this mission. Our brief is build a global home for independent agencies. Our mission is serve independent agencies and the brilliant people behind them. Our goal, more visibility for indies, more choice for marketers. 300 plus. We got some new members that came in. So we're very excited to add to this growing community. And we finished up our top 40 weirdos, misfits, and underdogs, the People in Agency Award for the rest of us. And now it is time for the furry friends. It is time to celebrate Indie Agency News Top 40 Pet of the Year. So here's the deal with this. $99 for the entry. If you are a member, I'll kick you over a little discount code, so it gets pretty cheap. But this is important. We will donate 25% of the net collected entry fees to the winner's favorite pet charity. So the more entries we get, the bigger the check. And not like a big check size-wise, but like money-wise. And I'm not trying to Italian Mother Catholic guilt you on this, but I'm going to a little bit because I love this award, and it's our only People's Choice Award. So you get to vote as well. So the entries are open until December 2nd. Go to indieagency.news and you can learn more about it. But yes, Pet of the Year. Where am I going to go with this? You know what? I'm just going to start with this because this is just a brilliant, brilliant piece of work. Let's just start here.
I'm so hungry. Auntie?
You're too late. She's been fed.
What? What? Aunties, you're too old to be fighting like this.
Oh!
Have you eaten yet?
We've got Chris, Marcelina, and Cam from Öpinionated here in the HQ hometown of Portland, Oregon. I still get a kick out of that thing. Like, we're jaded ad people, but holy shit, that's funny. And I have to say, the position the position and the platform is so freaking great and smart and flexible. And listen, Chris and Cameron, I want to start with you. So you know, really, really high production stuff, you're doing stunts. When you start building a platform, especially for a client, you start thinking, all right, how do we iterate on this thing? Really, what's next on this thing? So how did you come up with this idea? Because, you got a little stunty thing going, it's another great, great piece of work. But I have to imagine that, you're thinking about flexibility of the platform. How did this idea come to fruition? And how did you pitch that to the client? Chris, you want to take that one?
Oh, sure. I was going to say, Cam, it feels like it was your brainchild.
All right. Then it's Cam's idea. All right, Cam, we'll go to you.
I don't think it was my brainchild. I don't know. I think
credit. Jesus, stop being so Portland. Take credit.
So humble. You know what, man? I feel like the gig with any creative job is just trying to do stuff that makes you laugh and is going to entertain people. And if it can be on strategy along the way, then bonus, like that's the cherry on top. So I'm not going to lie, that's honestly kind of how we started. We just wanted to this is the third chapter of the Panda brand spots and brand storytelling. So we just wanted to make something that we thought was funny and also kind of up the ante. And not sorry about that pun, but it's as simple as that. We wanted to do something that made us laugh and really hyperbolized kind of the same sorts of stories we've done before.
And here's what I love is, and I teach at Portland State University, and I love talking about simplicity. So the complexity in this is probably more on the production side of it, because you have production design, you have a lot of different moving parts on that. But the simplicity of the idea, and just you look at it, and again, I'm jaded ad dude, but I'm looking at this and I love this. I absolutely love this. So how do you balance that of okay, how do we keep this a simple idea that's on brand, that's part of the platform, that doesn't go too far over the skis, but we can play a little bit? Chris, I want you to talk a little bit about that.
Sure. I think the idea is simple enough. Like, food is love, and these aunties will do anything to feed you. And you start somewhere simple with that insight. The challenge isn't like a big idea to bring it small. It's like a small truth for everyone, and expanding that out and how far you can take it. So that's how we landed on something like entertaining and action packed to drive that message home.
I mean, the aunties are hilarious. Can you walk us through just let's talk about the aunties a little bit here. So I love that they're not caricatures. I think that's the other thing. What I love about this is that you've balanced this cultural insight. And listen, I grew up in an Italian family. Don't look at my mother's side. And there are certain isms within there that are authentic. And knowing a little bit about certain Asian cultures, vis-a-vis Italians, a lot of it's around food. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you that my grandmother, Louise Sinelli, first thing out of her mouth is, "Have you eaten yet?" Did you eat yet? So how did we get to the aunties on all of this? And again, kudos for being able to make this entertaining but not feel like a caricature.
To get to the aunties, I mean, that goes to the very first spot of kind of the central figure in any family that's trying to feed you is an auntie besides your parents, right? It's like the aunties are always kind of bothering you with overbearing amounts of love. And so that was kind of an easy one-to-one of if we're a family oriented restaurant, who's going to be kicking that off is the auntie.
Now, how do you balance? You got the cultural authenticity to make sure that part is, it's important to make sure that it's not going into a territory that's this feels like appropriation or whatever. What were those discussions like, and how do you balance that tightrope?
I think the discussion is like laughing with someone versus laughing at someone. It's kind of the antics that they get into that are funny versus the, Asian background of them that we're never really mocking. Just kind of like the idiosyncrasy. I'm not pronouncing that right. Just
Idiosyncrasies.
Yeah. That are kind of funny and awkward sometimes.
Yeah. Hang out with my Italian family. You'll see that plenty. Marcelina, on the account side of it. So first of all, Opinionated's on fire. You've got Panda, but then also Shake Shack. I'm curious from your side, how easy is it from your side to be able to go into a client with confidence and say, we believe in this, because 20% of the time you're doing the work, but 80% of the time you're defending it, right? And so I'm curious about how those conversations go, but also where are you getting challenged from the client and how do you address that? And because I'm just always fascinated, because the account side of it, I think a lot of times is misunderstood. And I'd love to just know what you've learned from this client and how you go in with ideas and their feedback.
That's a great question. Yeah. Panda has been so great. I think Cam touched on it earlier, but the fact that the work is on strategy and it started from a cultural insight actually made this really easy to put in front of the clients, and has allowed us to push even farther with each iteration of the Aunties, because, it's just so based in truth. I mean, you mentioned it earlier too, while you didn't grow up in an Asian household, I did, so did Chris. And so it's very close to us, but we can all relate to that in some shape or form with someone in our family or a friend where they've experienced this when it comes to food and people wanting to feed you. So it was actually surprisingly not that hard, but I think Panda also was ready to do something different. And we found just that sweet spot to put that work in front of them.
Yeah, no, that's true. And so you've partnered with, have you partnered with other agencies on this? Did you partner with TDW and Company?
We did in the very beginning. So
at the beginning.
Yeah. And for the first spot for Lunar New Year.
For Lunar New Year. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So that's the 2-minute film.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. You know what? Let's take a look at that real quick.
Honesty is the best policy.
Hi.
Happy Lunar New Year.
Happy Lunar New Year.
Thank you for coming. You must be Diego.
You're dating our favorite niece.
You must have questions.
We do too.
Do I need a lawyer?
They won't get here in time.
What?
Where do you live?
The city.
Do you have a house?
I live with my parents.
Did you go to college?
I studied law.
So you're a lawyer?
I actually work in a coffee shop.
Why don't you work in law?
Disbarred?
Do you have student loans?
Delinquent?
How's your relationship with your mother?
Distant?
Well, no, not exactly. I mean, I put my career on hold to take care of my mom.
Do you know why you're here?
Yeah, do you know why you're here?
To meet the most important people in my girlfriend's life.
Yeah, but why today?
Because it's Lunar New Year.
What is Lunar New Year?
It's a celebration of friends and family with feasts and gambling in the basement.
Correct on everything except for the basement.
I saw it with my own eyes.
You saw nothing!
I didn't see anything.
Hey, 我想我喜欢他。
我想我也希望你。
One more question.
Have you eaten yet?
You're not giving him a hard time, are you?
What? The accusation.
He's practically family.
Are you practically failing?
Now I am.
Straight up brilliance. It really is. It really, really is. Cam, I want to go back to the newest. Did you work Perlorian Brothers? Is that who you worked with?
We did, yeah. We worked with Perlorian Brothers on this latest one, and then this 2-minute clip that you just played was made with Max Sherman.
Right, with Max Sherman. Right. So let's go to working with great talent like that. When you come in with a project like this, and you can go through all the directors and all the wonderfully gifted people in this industry on the production side of it. What was the feedback from them? Because again, this is something that is the platform that you're building is so unique, and these are just they're such great, rich stories, even though they're not 4 hours long. What do you learn from them, and then what feedback do you get from them? Because obviously when it's a good production, everyone feels good about it, but there's always something to learn at the end, right?
Yes. I mean, so like my background's in art direction, and I feel like that specialty is basically just learning from people who are excellent at their craft and asking them the way they want to push something. I think with both of those spots, Chris and I had a story that we loved. We work really hard to make sure that on paper something has all the right timing, comedic beats. We can see it in our heads. And then we go to a partner like Max, or we go to a partner like the Perlorian Brothers or Kate Hollowell, and we ask them, what do you see here that you want to bring to life, or what's not on this page that you think is going to make it's going to look like a tiny detail on the paper, but it's going to make a huge difference. So that's always an interesting thing, because depending on the person, that answers can be different. They're going to have their own take on how to pace out some of the comedic beats. And, in some instances, they challenge you and they ask you, like, why did you write it this way? I don't think that this is needed, or, like the phrase that gets thrown around a lot is like, that's a little bit of like fat that we could trim. So it depends on the spot. It depends on the artist, depends on the person. But those are conversations I love, because they end up pushing it, and they make it something that, not only you created, but a bunch of people created. And I think a lot of times that's what helps make something classic and makes it timeless.
Right. Yeah. And these are, honestly, you take a look at it, and I can't wait to see how this continues to reveal itself, because what I'm really looking forward to is seeing, down the road, when I look at, again, the teaching part of it. We struggle as instructors, because what do we always teach? We teach, well, it's 1984 from Apple, and it's this and this and this, right? And we need more examples of this, because we do talk about the importance of platform, and then what do you do with that platform? And I think that you're probably at chapter 2 of this thing, and you got a very long book to write. So I'm very excited about that. That's not a question. That's more of an observation and a comment. I'm going to go around the horn here. You get one final question. You're all going to answer the same question, but then we're going to do quick little lightning round. I'm going to start with Marcelina. And this is the question. How do you sell in great work to a client? If you're advising an independent agency on how you sell in great work to a client, how do you do it? What do you do?
I think we just have to be passionate and confident about what we're putting on the table, especially with our clients. They hire us for a certain reason. They know what we're good at. So when we come to the room, the Zoom, the table, with a piece of work that we fully believe in, I think, that means everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris, how do you sell in great work?
Yeah, I think you have to love it first. If you don't love it, I think everyone can tell, and they're not going to be as excited about it.
Yeah, exactly. And Cam?
Both of those things are correct. I was going to say love too, but I'll try to say something new now. I think you got to also acknowledge the fact that if you're pitching work that's going to be really great, it's going to inherently have a little bit of risk built in for that client. And it helps to just acknowledge it and go, we know that this is a big swing, but we're here, we're with you. We know that you can nail this. We know that we can nail this too. And so having that conversation kind of creates a safe zone too, where you have each other's back, and it creates more of a partnership, and also helps them understand that we're there in service of them. It's not just like trying to go, completely for ourselves.
Exactly. This is technically one sentence answers, but we'll let it be a couple sentences. Marcelina, I'm gonna go around. You each get one. So when 90% of QSR advertising is price focused or product focused, what should CMOs be demanding from their creative agencies as it relates to, creating stories that are really well thought out and done?
Brand building work.
Okay. I mean,
I gave you 3 words.
Yeah, you did. I mean, technically that's a short sentence.
A short sentence. Well, I mean, everything you're seeing is just like, oh, get this limited time offer, or
buy now,
this value meal, buy now. And it's like, that's great. And that obviously is going to help drive sales. But at the end of the day, there's a lot you need to do to build your brand and stand out in a category that is just, there's so many things going on.
So much. Chris, if you're consulting a CMO at a culturally rooted brand, what's the first thing you tell them about authentic storytelling?
Oh, wow. Listen to the younger generation, right? I think cultures, it's not like a monolith, and they shift. And sometimes if you're 3 or 4 generations up, what you hold dear may be a little more flexible 4 generations down, although it might be the same thing. It's just a little different. And so just be conscientious of what's happening within your own culture.
Yep. I think we're going to call these the last word questions instead of one, because it's silly. It's one sentence answers. It doesn't work with this. So Cam, you get the last word. What's the biggest mistake agencies make when they have a great debut like yours?
Oh man, a format. I think if you try and repeat it exactly the way it was before, it's not going to work. There's that like weird, strange, murky, gray area of creativity that still feels kind of uncomfortable. You have to go back to that. Think about that some way.
Yep, love it. Listen, I always love it when the home team hops on with us. So to Portland, cheers. What else you got cooking? I mean, you got all sorts of stuff going on right now. Lots of nice little wins. I mean, the Shake Shack story is great. We got to talk about that later. Didn't somebody work at Shake Shack for the pitch?
Somebody did. Did. Yes.
I think that's brilliant.
Yep.
Which one did they work at?
Probably the one on Burnside.
Oh, okay. So close to the agency. Okay, got it.
We should try to get the Shake Shack team in here.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll get them in there for sure. Sure. No, but listen, we're all very proud of you here in Portland. We're a little bit partial to it because, but in all honesty, I've known a lot of you guys for a number of years, and it's always a pleasure to bring all of you on, and we wish you the best of luck and keep on keeping on. And I'm going to put you backstage for a second.
Awesome. Thanks, Doug.
You got it.
Bye.
All right, everybody. I love that work. I really, really do. A reminder, Indie Agency News, Pet of the Year. We are the Arizona Iced Tea of awards. No award's going to be over $199. So our bigger, like creative awards and people and agency awards. But Pet of the Year, we're just keeping it a little low, keeping it a little lower. So $99. 25% of the net collected fees goes to the winner's favorite pet charity. So the more, the better. So let's get like 1,000 entries and get a lot of money over to those folks. Listen, we just want to have some fun too. Speaking of which, we will be in Nashville for our next show-off event. If you are in the area, go to indieagency.news, get more information on that. And to our friends in Nashville and beyond, thanks so much for supporting this mission, and we will see you next time.